Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for taking the time to see what I have going on and see what this week is bringing me. So while we're about to get started on today's topic and subject, please hit the subscribe button, like this video, share it with someone, and comment. I would really love to hear your feedback on the video or anything that you would just like to share or whatever. Help me out, support, and of course subscribe, please. But today, we're not going to call this a week 4 vlog because I'm not really sure. It could be like 3. Today could be the real 3, so we'll just call it episode 4 of my vlog for the year. Episode 4 is what we're going to call it. So we're going to talk a little bit about some keto things, just a small nugget of some keto things, but really going to talk about some other things that is important to me about why I'm now doing a channel and what kind of held me back from opening up to start my own channel. So I'm going to talk about those things. So on the keto front, we're still moving on and trekking on a little bit about what I ate. I didn't do anything over the top or complex. I think so far with this week and this weekend, I've kind of been eating chicken wings. I mean, nothing special, nothing over the top. I did go to the farmer's market, and I love a good farmer's market. The Amish make some great things. So bought something like broccoli slaw just to switch it up for a side. And I bought some chicken salad because one of my friends in my Facebook timeline did chicken salad and did some type of, they put everything but the bagel seasoning on it. I tried that, I really liked it. I did want to do some pickling over the weekend, and I had some cucumbers in my refrigerator, but those things went bad. So maybe I'll get some cucumbers within the next week or so. And since I have pickling seasoning and making sure I have the right stuff, it's just off a whim, do that. Because I like pickles. My mom used to pickle, so she made some really good pickles. So she could give me top to bottom, oh, you do this, you do that. So this week, I did make cracked chicken finally for the first time, and that was really good. I really enjoyed that. And we had my mother-in-law over, so she tried it. When people come over, they're getting a keto dinner right now. So the cracked chicken, we had some asparagus, and that was basically it. My husband, he likes to make soup, but his soups aren't always keto friendly. So I had a little bit last night. It was really good. I did bring some to work because I was working a long shift, still here. But I had that, but I didn't eat it. I think what I brought today was enough. I am getting a little hungry now, but I'll probably have to wait till I get home to eat some food. Who knows what he made, and I have another long day to go through tomorrow. So, after next weekend, so we're coming into this week, it'll be the 1st, and I said my keto challenge is going to go for 1 month. Really do it up is going to be on the 3rd of February. So I'm going to, see where I'm at. I didn't weigh myself, pictures only. Scales are depressing, and I don't want to be depressed over a scale. So I feel good. I feel like I look good. I'm moving better, and that. So other than that, I went to Zumba yesterday. It was lit. I was super duper tired, and you get that one jam that come on, it just turns your energy up. But when I got home and I ate a little something, I crashed. So that's that with that. What else? Yeah, so that's where we're at. I don't think I have any other keto stuff that I'm doing, but I did make a pink drink, and if I know how to add that to the video, boom, it'll be up here. If not, you just see my finger pointing up to the ceiling. Still learning how to edit videos. But another thing I want to talk about, I posted my last week's video, and I got inspired. One of my Facebook friends said, oh, they're proud of me for doing this. And they were a fan, and got me so inspired, because then I thought about what took me so long to do this. I've been wanting to make YouTube videos for about a year now, and had all these great ideas. I wrote them in my phone. I was going to talk about some relationships in my life, other, relationships and friendships that just had its roller coaster ride leading up to, in 2019, and things that I felt and things that I've actualized and realized, and I wanted to share them. But I always shied away from that because I didn't want my stuff to be out there, and maybe somebody thinks I'm talking about them. Maybe I am. But it's my life, it's my perspective. I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about my life's perspective. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But also, I wrote down some notes about, how to really talk about this. So if I look down, I'm trying to make it as organic as possible. So I'll say I don't really like posting personal stuff on social media. I don't. And I'm doing it now because I need to get over that for where I need to go and where I feel I need to go and where I believe that, God will take me. So I am a Christian. I'm very, but I'm down to earth. I'm not super deep. I can be deep, but I don't think everything that people do or how they believe is that deep. They just make it sound deep. But, I'm very practical in my walk with the Lord. So I'm not always like, want to do it, hallelujah, and this is what the Lord is saying unto thee unto this day. I'm not that. I can be that if that's what the situation requires. But I'm very practical about stuff and very against the grain these days in my thought process, because some things that we're taught just aren't it. But that's not what I came to talk about. So, I think that it's taken me so long because I do have great stories and they are personal, and I don't want to implicate the guilty too much to preserve their perceived innocence to the masses or whatever. But I do have great stories. Some of them, I have to, change the names and stuff like that. In my head, I'm telling you stories, but I need to start really opening up because my experiences are not just my own. There are others too. So also, I didn't post or don't like to post personal things on social media because sometimes posting and this is what I'm doing can be obnoxious. It can be obnoxious. Like, are you stuck on yourself? And I'm not that type of person, and I don't want to be perceived in that manner also. But one of my good friends said, if you're promoting yourself and you're trying to get your business out there, then you have to be obnoxious. Then, I agreed. But if that's the case, but I don't want to seem obnoxious. That's just where I'm at with that. I don't want to seem obnoxious, and I don't really think that it is. It's just there's other layers to that, which I'm trying to get to. Other layers to that. So, and then there's the other thing in the social media world where you post enough, whether it be your Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, people really think that they know you, but not like, how I know her from social media. I love her stuff. Not like that. But I think that what I mean when I say, oh, they think they know you, is those that know me personally that are in a outer circle of my inner court. I don't know how to, they're in my outer circle, but I'm cool with you, like you're in my inner circle type of thing. I think that's the best way for me to explain. I know I kind of flubbed my explanation, but this is trying to keep it organic as possible, and I think that's what it was. So, in a story, I'm going to try to remember it the best I can, because this little story takes place probably about 10 years ago, maybe, give or take. So I wrote some notes down, so if I look down. So anyway, I was at a gathering about 10 years ago with some close friends, I'll say. And at the time, I was in my 20s. I was trying to find myself and feel accepted because at the time, I wanted to be accepted by dating, and that I was acceptable to date and find love, and I was worthy of love, all those things. Because in my 20s, early 20s, and mid, a lot of my friends were getting married, and I was single as a dollar bill. I think, just single. And like, how do you meet people? Like, I was at a church where, God is going to bring it to, him to you. And I kind of abandoned that thinking a little bit. So I got on online dating and I found a couple boos, but there's one particular guy that I had dated social media, not social media, but an online dating app, I should say. Let me get my words together. He was pretty nice. We went on multiple dates for a while. We had a lot in common. A really, really nice guy, similar backgrounds, church, big family, things like that. And again, this was like 10 years ago, maybe more. And I really liked him. So I didn't really bring guys around, my close personal friends like that. So I brought him to an event that we all went to. And it was like, okay, and I see you. Oh, he's nice. And, whatever. He's nice. And it was a good time. We enjoyed the show. And, it was a good time with the group of friends and him and everybody who, participated in the event that we went to all these many years ago. So a couple weeks later, we were all, me and my friends, we were at, hanging out, and they were like, well, asking me questions about the guy, nothing over the top, where'd you meet him? Where'd he take you on his first date? They were really nosy and in an obnoxious type of way, really, when I think back, where'd you meet him? What kind of car did he drive? So the guy, he didn't have a car because he lived in Philly. He wasn't a slouch or anything. He just didn't have a car. He had a great job at a bank, was in school. We were in our 20s, whatever. And so, since I had a car, and I think I lived in Lower Delaware or something like that at the time, if I was in town, I'd scoop him up. I got to drive to Philly. Or we would meet, or if after we went out, back then it was no big deal. I'm not thinking about it 10 years later, over 35, it still ain't a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a situation. It's not like, oh, he didn't have a car, no job. Like, come on, we were in our 20s. Like, so I felt like judged in that situation, and I'm just like, but I at the same time, you have a hunger to, be accepted by your friends or the group that you're with, so, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, like, I'm trying to get this story right because it was so long ago. It went left, like, I'm insecure, and they're saying, so you're saying this, and you're saying that, and like, okay, yeah, like, I felt like, there was some calling out of attributes of me, like I was making the wrong decision, like, okay, like, we're dating, find out, do I like him? And it's almost like they tried to shrink me. These friends, they tried to like shrink me, like, it was kind of whack, but that was 10 years ago. But it was whack. It mattered to me, and it have in a way mattered to me ever since, a little bit, but not really, but just how you move and like, well, anyway, let me get to that part. So anyway, they're just trying to shrink me or whatever, and they're trying to tell me, well, this is how it is. And I'm like, first of all, I control the narrative of what you're being told. So based on the information I'm giving you, you can't make that assumption about whatever the deeper discussion had ended up being as these friends tried to shrink me or whatever. So, I mean, it was what it was. So I'm just like, you can't say that you know what I feel, or, directly tell me how I feel based on like 8 points that I gave you and like 3 details under those points. Like, you can say what you think, but you can't tell me how I feel about a situation that you're not a part of. And I'm giving you the information, controlled information that I want you to have. But, when you try to like tell people, a stronger, minded people who think they're always right about, how you actually feel about a situation, and they're, putting their feelings of how you feel on you that you don't really feel, is kind of whack, and it's kind of like degrading in a way. And that's happened to me several times over the years, but, it made me like, okay, so since you guys, from this little bit of information I given you, and you have me figured out, I'm not putting up nothing. Like, it'll be fun stuff, little quirky stuff that I'll, share, but I'm not going deep in my feelings. I'm not, going in, I'll try to be inspirational, share something funny. But I mean, for me, it really I was just like, am I sharing? There's other incidents, similarly, that made me even get to that point where I'm not sharing, anything. Basically, it just cut me off from really getting into how I use my social media. So I don't really post a lot of things, like I said, personal things, what I ate, what I'm doing, even my relationship with my now husband. Like when we were dating, boyfriend and girlfriend, I would put up pictures and little snippets, but nothing like, oh my God, deep about our relationship. Me and him did this. Me and he said this to me. He said, gave me this text message. Little here's and there's to like document, of course, your relationship, as we all do on social media, because it is what it is today. But nothing that was below the surface of that, because I just didn't think that it was necessary. And then I have a now husband who doesn't think that sharing your personal self is really relevant or necessary or even needed, so kind of keep it like our stuff private. He doesn't post me like, look at my beautiful wife. It doesn't offend me that he doesn't do that, but it's just the way that we move. I'll be more like, oh, look at my husband. My husband is so wonderful. I love I'll do that every once in a while, but not often, because just because I share how much I love, like, and am happy with my husband doesn't define my relationship with him. We just don't move like that. With all of that being said, my whole story, I didn't have to prove myself to anybody, of who I am based on a few tidbits or a few posts, or, it's okay to know somebody through their social media. That's how we like know our, favorite celebrities. They post and what they're doing, their lives, their happiness. Even sometimes the bad stuff comes out. But I want to make sure that when I do share, it's meaningful and it's going to be helpful to someone else. So that's my point. So I think that I'm in a place where I'm over all of that, because it has hindered me from actually doing what God has commissioned me to do, and where he wants to take me. I don't know at this point of what that is going to be all the way, but I know that, if I step out on faith, he will carry me through. Won't he do it? Now that's the time for me to get all like spiritual. Won't he do it? If you just step out on faith, God will make a way for you. And he's going to make a way for me. I don't know what he's doing in this season, but I just know that obedience is better than any type of sacrifice. Okay? Obedience is better than any type of sacrifice. What else did I write here? So moving forward, what I plan on doing is, if I have a subject matter, I'm just going to share it. I am, if something is bothering me, I plan on sharing it. So like one of my favorite bloggers, Larry, who he says, if you don't want it out there, don't do it. So if there's something that bothers me, I'm going to talk about it. If there's something that brings me complete utter joy, I'm going to share it. If there's someplace I go and it's amazing, I'm going to share it. I'm going to talk about my experiences, because my experiences can help somebody else. So I think moving forward, I want to be free of like being scared to share myself and being vulnerable and being transparent, not only with those that are watching, but most importantly, myself. And just talking about things that matter. And I just want to say thank you for, watching this, because these things matter. I just told a story about how, others putting their thoughts on me and my mind a long time ago really shaped how I move today. And that's not cool at all. And I'm free in this moment. I am going to share. So it might seem like a silly subject matter, but when it cuts you off from doing now what you have felt in your heart to do, that's a big deal. So really the main point of it is being free. Free in your mind, free to take who you are and use it to the best of your ability to help someone else. Because maybe someone is sharing, not sharing or however they move, but it's a point where they are not honest with themselves. They're afraid, they're shut down. They're not open in relationships with others, and a place where you're not free. But it does not matter what people think about you, what their opinions are about you, and what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Your life is your own, good, bad, mistakes, and all. Your mistakes will be the things that bring you up on top. Sometimes your mistakes are the things that will teach you how to be your very best. And having experiences give you the experience to know what to do and not to do. So at that time, dating someone who had no car and but had a job and getting like teased essentially, does it even matter today? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, because that person is not in my life. And I'm married to someone who is wonderful. And I met them in a place where I had, never thought I'd be. And that's another story for another day. And I will bring that story up maybe in the month of February. So thank you for listening. Thank you, because I had the opportunity to share something about why I didn't share before, but now we are going to be sharing, and hopefully I can do that on the fly, but like, oh, y'all had this thought. So thank you for this moment to watch this video to the end. So please, if you would please subscribe and share this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to do episode 5 with you guys of my life, my keto life, and just life, health, love, and transparency in general. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next time, be blessed. Take care.